Hello guys. So after I made an Iceberg video a couple days ago, you guys asked for a part 2. So here's the part 2. If you don't know how Iceberg videos work, I already explained in my part 1 video. By the way, some of these facts in the Iceberg are told to me by some of the commenters in my previous. I'll write their names in the corner when I'm explaining. Anyway, enough with the intro, let's get into the video. Pay to win is the things people have to pay real money just to unlock, like the custom smoke color, LED headlights color, etc. But these are not pay to win because they're just visuals. But the W16 engine, which is most powerful engine in the game, and we all know it's almost impossible to win drag races without it. F2 is not an actual Formula 2 car, it's the 2018 F1 car, but since the game has two Formula 1 cars, people call the 1988 one just F1, and they call the newer one F2 just to make difference between. Easy cars are simply the first few cars in the list, which you can unlock with ads instead of money. Movie vehicles are the cars that have customization kits that make them a replica of a car that was featured in a movie. Bus is simply the Mercedes Citaro, which is first bus to get added into the game. LMP is the 919 hybrid. It's special for being the only car that has openable doors and one seat at the same time. Unnecessary cars are the cars that nobody asked for and they got added to the game. Some of these cars got hated by some of the CPM community because they took the chance of more loved cars to be added. The useless map icons are the icons around the map which are very useless, like the police station, fire station, and the hospital. They are all useless and serve no purpose other than making the new players find these places easier. Broken tasks are the daily tasks that are totally uncompletable no matter how hard you try. The devs always fix them, but they get broken again after some time. .41 HP is the lowest HP count a car ever had from the car shop, which is the Volkswagen Type 2. Ghost Tunnel is the train tunnel in the desert. It's inaccessible, which is obviously because it's the end of the train tracks. Animals are the birds that can be spotted in many places around the map, but in front of the restaurant in the city is the most obvious place. Restoration are the restoration videos trend, where people would take a car, make a rusty design on it, make some role-playing pretending it's a broken car they found, and then they restore it. It was an amazing trend mostly in 2022. People still do it today, but not as much as in 2022. Special cars are the cars that had openable bonnet before version 4.8.15.6, when only certain cars had openable hoods, mostly the premium that costed real money. Money Farm is simply the first level in the game, which is known for being the easiest money farm. Bed covers are simply the covers that can be put on a truck's bed in the customization shop. Only a few trucks have those. Reverb is simply the reverbed sounds when entering a tunnel. Horns are the custom horns in the game that nobody uses because they are only unlockable with real money or daily gifts if you play before 4.8.8.3. Forgotten country is Malaysia, being the oldest country to never have anything related to it added in recent updates. The newest is the Malaysian flag, which is 2 years ago. Before that was the Peruda Myvi. Motel is the motel in the desert, which is one of the most iconic places in the entire game due to how people use it for car meets and deals. Skid marks is simply how weird the skid mark settings are. When turning off the skid marks, the game doesn't count drifting and the car wouldn't get dirty. It's worth mentioning that this has been fixed in one of the recent updates. Donut is simply the restaurants around the map. People use them for meetings. The most known one is the one in the desert because it's the car selling area. Burn tires is simply when people burn their tires by making burnouts next to a wall to wear out the tires, which makes them very good for drifting. LED lights are the LED lights we can find in many new cars, which you can change their color. Well, using real money to unlock the feature, of course. Branded cars are the cars which actually have brands' names on them. For example, the Trackhawk has logo on its back which reads Juj. Obviously twisted from Jeep. There are few cars that have similar stuff. Manual gearbox is obviously the manual gearbox, which we can turn on from the settings. It's broken because it only has 6 speeds. Some cars have 7-speed gearboxes, which means those cars cannot reach their top speed. Broken turn signals is when turning on blinkers and turn them off again. They will get darker then before turning them on. Scary forest is when you choose the night skybox and head to any of the highway north from the city, which make the forest on the side a bit scary. But it's not anymore because after version 4.8.20 they changed the skybox, which doesn't look as scary as before. Legal car stealing is back in the days when you try to steal a player's car while it's locked. The game will ask you to pay real money to be able to enter locked cars, which is not an option anymore, probably because it defeats the purpose of locking cars. Unfair racing is when back in the days when you try to race a 1600M drag in the desert, there was a police car parked in the left lane which the challenged person will always hit if their car is unstable, which make the race unfair. Reused car is the Infiniti G37, which got removed after it was added, then got added back with the same model, which makes it the only car to get removed and return without remodeling. Slowed down is when you drive fast in a specific intersection in the mountains, your car stops and the word slowed down appears in the screen. Actually, there used to be a police car parked here, but it was removed in version 4.8.18 when they replaced most of the parked cars with the new NPC cars models. Helicopter is the helicopter that used to roam around the map in the very old versions of car parking multiplayer. Special starter car is when you start the game from the beginning, but with he phone language set to Turkish. The game will make your starter car a Tofaş Dogan instead of a Civic. Ken block is a text written in the ground in the selling area in the city. It's written in a curved text. It's covered with skid marks, which makes it even more clear that it's a tribute to the incredible stunt drifter Ken Block. That's why it's covered with skid marks and made curved T represent drifting. Let's Park This Civic is actually a pretty weird one in the levels when you drive out of boundaries where the level area is. The game restarts the level and a text reads, "Let's park this car," appears on the screen. What's weird about this is that the game actually shows the real-life car's name. For example, when I try this in the first level it says, "Let's Park This Civic." And in this one it reads Hummer. It depends on the car. But the reason why it's so weird is that the Oldshaus team are trying their best not to get copyright issues, but here they literally referred to these cars with their real counterparts' names, which is very dangerous and risky and might trigger some companies, especially Honda. Apparently this exists in the game because in the older version some of the cars had badges of the real-life counterparts on them. Anyway, this is the part 2 of the car parking multiplayer Iceberg. If you didn't watch the first part, make sure to go check it out. Thanks for watching. Till next time, bye.